And, you know, I don't really like to talk about it that much because he's the reason I'm on this panel. My first job, but at the same time, you know, you need the proof, and then I'll be able to give my judgment here or there.
And we know that now that quaaludes to women to have sex.
And now
know
that real
now.
facts, then more people can
you're
come
giving
up.
drugs.
As a former quaalude user, I'm sorry, the 80s were...
They sound like fun. They sound like they were fun.
Well, they weren't fun for everybody, clearly. I don't like snap judgments because I've had snap judgments made on me. So I'm very, very careful. And, you know, save your texts, save your nasty comments. I don't care. Only because, and I say this because this is my opinion. And in America, still, I know it's a shock, but you actually were innocent until proven guilty. He has not been proven.
And neither is OJ. So, welcome back to Daily Wrap. Newly released documents show comedian Bill Cosby admitted 10 years ago to drugging and assaulting women. The documents come via transcript of a civil lawsuit filed back in 2005 by Andrea Constand, one of the women accusing Cosby of sexual assault. Here's how the 77-year-old answered questions from Constand's attorney about the 7 prescriptions Cosby obtained in the 70s for quaaludes. Question: you gave them to other people? Answer: yes. Question: when you got the quaaludes, was it in your mind that you're going to use these quaaludes for young women that you wanted to have sex with? Answer: yes. I think that's the most times I've said quaaludes in 30 seconds. When asked if he ever gave any of those young women quaaludes without their knowledge, Cosby's lawyer told him not to answer. Are these documents proof that Bill Cosby raped Andrea Constand and possibly other people? Are you now convinced? Were you convinced before, Rick Unger?
Well, first of all, to make your life easier, back in the day we just called them lewds.
Oh, really?
So feel free.
Okay.
At least that's what I've heard.
Interesting.
Whoopi told me. Look, you know, I am going to pick up on what Whoopi said. Look, I tend to believe that Bill Cosby has guilt in these allegations over these 40 women who have stepped forward. I don't believe they're all making it up, but I was a little bit troubled with this report because, all kidding aside, quaaludes were not the sort of drug that people used like roofies. They didn't knock a girl or a guy out.
Even mixed with alcohol.
Even mixed with alcohol, which I've seen on many occasions. It wasn't the sort of thing where it was going to cause you to pass out and you'd wake up the next morning and go, what happened last night? It just isn't that sort of drug. So I do think that it's a bit unfair. Now, as to the 3 half tabs of Benadryl he talks about, that would knock me out. So, you know, you can reach your own judgment on that.
Joe, don't you wish you had 1.21 gigawatts in a DeLorean right now where you could go back in time to 1983 and hang out with Rick and Whoopi in Santa Monica? Because that would be one hell of a party.
Yeah, that's at the Grotto we get together at Hef's place.
The bowling alley.
The bowling alley?
That's
if
where
you're
you
on
went
enough
with
fluids, it
quaaludes.
doesn't matter, I guess.
Oh, wow, I'm learning so much tonight.
I think, well, first I'm just trying to think of what kind of drug I would have to take to have sex with Whoopi Goldberg. And,
Ooh, harsh.
I can't think of anything. Because I personally...
Rufalin, clearly.
Here's the thing. What's the old saying?
I'm Ted dancing on you.
The first 25 rape allegations, shame on me. Isn't that how the old saying goes?
That's the bumper sticker.
You reach a certain point where I'm just... now we know why he performs sitting down. The man's exhausted from decades of sexually assaulting women, allegedly. But of course Whoopi Goldberg says this because she was the one, you remember, it was, well, it's not rape, so she's gonna stick with it to the end. Although, could they have found a creepier picture of Bill Cosby to have looking over their heads in that clip there, as if to say,
there are no
fix you a
accidents.
cocktail, ladies?
There are no accidents. John Fund, your opinion?
You know, Bill Cosby is living proof that some people live too long for their own good. If he had passed from this earth a few years ago, these allegations wouldn't have come forward because this lawsuits would not have been filed.
There's no money aspect.
Exactly, to it. And you know, it is a shame for someone who was a hero to so many people to end his life in this muck, and of course, obviously of his own making.
I was going to say it's not as much of a shame when he's as
but it is a shame. It is a shame to all the people he inspired, all of the people he made laugh, all of the people for whom he was a role model. This was the fellow who in the 1960s broke the color bar in 2 areas, leading first African American in a dramatic series, I Spy, and then of course the Cosby Show in the 70s and the 80s. It just goes to show that both in Hollywood and in Washington and various other high-powered places, power is the ultimate aphrodisiac and sometimes a very dangerous one.
Well, following the release of these documents, the television network Bounce announced today that it has pulled reruns of the show Cosby. Shocked that was still on. Word is also coming out that other projects that were in the works involving Cosby have been dropped as well. But despite all this, Cosby still has some supporters in Hollywood. His former Cosby Show TV daughter, Lisa Bonet, released a statement late last night standing by him. We heard what his former TV step-granddaughter, Raven-Symoné, and fellow comedian Whoopi Goldberg had to say about these new revelations on The View. Plenty of other people still standing by him, which is still remarkable. I guess it showed that he had some powerful friendships, and they just don't want to believe it.
Yeah. Can we deport Bill Cosby?
That's a very good point. Is Bill Cosby innocent or guilty? Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. Share your opinions. Back with more after the break.